After a 20-something hour flight from San Francisco via Taiwan, I arrived in Hanoi.
I pre-arranged a hotel transfer to the Eliana Hotel where Anna greeted me with a cup of tea. She also provided me with local information and checked me in. Then I ordered up my first Grab scooter ride to the place where egg coffee was first invented. Egg coffee is a blend of strong coffee, whipped egg yolk, and condensed milk. I enjoyed my first taste of egg coffee and it gave me the energy to fight off the jet lag and to walk along the lake. Soon I found myself at Nok Sun Temple. It is a peaceful spot in a noisy city. Later I made it to Banh Mi 25 and bought a pork banh mi for dinner. A local told me that this was the best banh mi place in Hanoi. I thought it was delicious.
The hotel breakfast was great with a large selection of items to start your day. This gave me energy for my 5-hour walking tour.
Today, I will take you to some landmark of Hanoi. Yeah, like as the train street,
Yes.
Long Biên Bridge,
Yes.
Dong Xuân Market, Hanoi Metropole. We will enjoy the lunch in Bún Chả Obama.
Yes.
Then we walk around the lake, short lake,
Yes.
and back to hotel. And I hope you will have a wonderful, leisurely walking tour today.
Our tour continues on Mural Street. Tweet My guide told me that Yoast paper is burned on the 1st and 15th of each lunar month and on special occasions to honor their ancestors. Next stop is the famous Metropole Hotel in the French Quarters. This hotel has hosted many international dignitaries, movie stars, and important events. Beneath the bamboo bar is a bomb shelter. It is time for Bún Chả at the restaurant where President Obama and Anthony Bourdain once dined when they were in Hanoi. Bún Chả contains grilled pork, rice noodles, fresh herbs, accompanied with a fish dipping sauce. We finished our tour in the St. Joseph Cathedral area. Around 6 o'clock I went on a food walking tour and sampled noodle rolls, a fried onion and vegetable bowl, beef skewers, sticky rice ice cream, and other items. We also had a beer on Train Street. We got souvenir bottle caps that were ran over by the train. In addition to showing us different neighborhoods and providing information about the foods, we got a little information about Vietnamese culture. Soon we could hear the train coming.
I caught a scooter grab ride and headed to Ha Lo prison. It was built by the French in the late 1800s to hold Vietnamese agitators and such. The prison name was derived from the wood and coal-fired stoves sold on this street. Prisoners endured many forms of physical and psychological torture such as being leg-chained in their cells, being fed unedible food scraps, and being put in sealed barrels filled with waste. Even worse, someone would bang the seal barrels to damage the prisoner's hearing. Later this prison was used by the Vietnamese on the Americans. Another must-see activity in Hanoi is the water puppet theater. Elena, who I met in a previous walking tour, helped me with my ticket.
The lobby has a nice display of puppets and props used in some of their shows, as well as history about the water puppet theater. This tradition in Vietnam dates back to the 11th century in villages along the Red River Delta. The stories evolve around fishing, farming, and everyday village life. After the show, I took a few night pictures on my way back to the hotel. It is April 28th and I took a Grab scooter ride to meet Khoi, our Vietnam War tour guide. After Khoi gave us a brief history of the war and a coffee drink, he took us to the black market. I originally rode through here on my way to the meetup. This is a glimpse of the black market. This is an area you might come to if you are looking for your license plate, scooter parts, electronics, fake receipts for your taxes, other types of documents, or items that were once yours. Khoi will tell us a story from the past.
Back in the day, right? They steal the scooter, they keep it here for like 10 to 20 days, and then they will, after the 10 to 20 days, nobody, if you don't buy it back, they're gonna break into the part and sell the part instead. But now they don't do the same thing anymore.
We get a glimpse of the residents' quarters above their shops below. A scooter ramp was incorporated into the stairwell back in the day to keep the scooters safe. Next, Khoi took us to a Christmas bombing memorial site honoring the victims. Next, we are on our way to Train Street, where Khoi told us many fascinating stories about the Nguyen dynasty, dogs named Nixon, Johnson or Kissinger, how Vietnam has no welfare system, etc. He also gave us local balm for aches and pain. This afternoon I took a walk through the presidential palace grounds. The palace was built in the early 1900s by the French. It is not open to the public, but you can enjoy the beautiful architecture and manicured landscape. Later in the day I took a scary Grab scooter ride during rush hour to the Lot World Aquarium, which is housed in a big shopping mall complex. The ride was about 50 minutes from my hotel. I love aquariums and glad I went to see this one. After another delicious hotel breakfast served by Lan, the breakfast host, I made my way to the Cat Ba office to buy my ticket to Sapa and Ninh Binh. Traffic is extra heavy as the locals are getting out of town to celebrate the 50 years of reunification of Vietnam. It is a one-week holiday for the kids. A local told me your holiday is their holiday. That was so true. After buying my bus tickets to Sapa and Ninh Binh, I spent the day exploring different parts of town, taking pictures of local life unfolding before my eyes. I visited the Dong Xuan Indoor Market, touring the Tran Quoc Pagoda, and strolling along the West Lake area. Later I enjoyed a lemon coffee. Today is a rainy morning as I wait on the street corner for my bus to Cat Ba Island. I packed my essentials in a dry bag and left the rest of my luggage at the hotel. The hotel packed me breakfast for my 3-hour ride. The coordinator Haha posed for a picture as we departed the bus at Cat Ba Island. After a late afternoon lunch and a hotel break, I went on an evening bioluminescent kayak tour. A fishing boat took me to a pier of a floating hotel where our tour began. The guide was happy to show me how the algae would illuminate when he splashed his paddle against the water. At one point a flying fish jumped into his section of the kayak. He shows off his catch when we docked. Today I took an all-day tour of Ha Lan and Ha Long bays through Get Your Guide. It started with a leisurely cruise in the bay, followed by a scenic kayak tour. Later we enjoyed an onboard lunch followed by free time for swimming and relaxing. Then we landed at a local village where we sampled snake wine.
1, 2, 3.
3 times like this.
Yeah.
And in the third time, let's say zo zo zo, okay?
Yeah, okay.
So let's say everybody,
Mo Tai
zo.
After a fish foot massage, we rode bikes around the village and enjoyed a cold drink before boarding the bus back to the boat. On the way back, we passed some local fishing villages. The day went fast and was a well-organized tour. This is the morning market on Cat Ba Island. You might have detected by now there is a lot of honking in Vietnam. A local told me you honk or you die. Their system seems to work well here. Inside, all sorts of meats, fish, produce and the like are sold here. This is their grocery store. Today is a 6-hour bus ride from Hanoi to Sapa with the usual 2 rest stops along the way for a bathroom and food break. However, some unusual items are being sold, probably more for the drivers and locals. Once arriving, I locate a Grab driver named Ba. I ended up using him for my time in Sapa. I am staying at a self-service hotel up in the hills. After unpacking, I walked downhill into town and took some pictures and familiarized myself with the area. The next morning I called Ba to take me to Sapa Church, which is the meeting spot for today's hike. Chai, who looks quite young, is our guide.
As you can see, the countryside is beautiful and a nice day for a hike of about 6 to 7 miles. Some older women assist us today in hopes to sell us their handicrafts. Unfortunately, the round-trip journey is double for them and today's income is not guaranteed. After enjoying a generous lunch, Chai takes us into a local home where 8 people live. She tells us a story about everyday life in the Hmong village.
You will see some dry meat here. In the New Year's, we will carry maybe around 100 kilos. Then when we cannot eat finish, we will put in here for hanging, for dry. Then we can use long time, about 2 or 3 months. And you see like the step we made from the wood. We will climb up here. We can carry about 50 kilos rice or corn put up here. Because everything we don't use, we will put on the 2 floor here. And you see like this side, here we have some like a red paper. Because every time in the New Year's, we need to put 3 in here. Mean will bring the lucky come inside your house. Okay, we go outside.
The tour ends and an air-conditioned van picks us up and takes us back to town. I say goodbye to Chai and her sister and head to Mist Sapa, which is a place for drinks and food I read about on the internet. They also have a couple of rescue animals on the premises. A nice way to relax after being in the heat and humidity most of the day. This morning Ba took me to the Sapa station, where I took the funicular to the base of Fansaipan mountain. Upon exiting the station, you are surrounded by flower fields, which is an Instagrammer's dream for selfies. I bought an all-inclusive Fansaipan ticket, which includes round-trip transportation, access to the Hmong village, and a buffet lunch. While in the village I bought some sausage and watched the locals make incense. I bought a few to support the locals. Soon it was time for lunch. After taking some pictures, I boarded a cable car towards the Buddha statue. I understand this is recognized by the Guinness World Records as the highest and longest cable car system in the world. At the top, the rain was coming down hard and I found cover of a temple roof. I met a nice couple that were getting married in Vietnam soon. Back on the ground, the weather was comfortable. One of the very few days where it was not hot and humid. I called Ba on WhatsApp and he took me back to Mist Sapa for some afternoon coffee. Today I went to Cat Cat village. First founded in the mid-19th century by the Hmong people, it later turned into a resort by the French. The name is derived from the French, who called the local waterfall Catscat. Today the village showcases the traditional daily life of the Hmong people through its handicrafts, foods, song and dance, and native interior home displays. There is a fee to enter the village. I took some time to enjoy a performance by the locals. A Grab ride back to Mist Sapa one more time before taking a Grab scooter ride to the evening night market and dinner. The next day around 8 a.m. it was time for the 6-hour ride with the usual rest stops along the way back to Hanoi. Benzo from the hotel recommended that I visit the Temple of Literature. This was established in 1070 and is the first university in Vietnam. A peaceful and historic place in Hanoi. It is rush hour and I am going to a Japanese restaurant. I had a delicious panko shrimp and curry rice for dinner. Later I stopped at a local grocery store before returning to the hotel. I visited with Benzo for a while before going upstairs to pack for my trip to Ninh Binh in the morning. Today I took a 2.5-hour bus ride and arrived in Tam Kok. I found my way to the Tam Kok friendly hotel. It has a secluded charm and easy walking distance to what I need. The hotel has bike and scooter rentals and a swimming pool. The grounds are clean and well manicured. The room was spacious and comfortable. The lake is steps away from the hotel. After a short nap I took a boat and bus rides along the lake surrounded by beautiful mountains, sacred temples, locals working their fields, and a few mountain goats. The older women work hard using their legs to paddle the boat. We were able to get off the boat a few times to explore places on land. Here are some pictures I took along the way. On one of our stops I saw this man doing amazing needlework. I ended up watching him for a while before buying 3 items from him. The tour lasted roughly 3 hours and was very enjoyable on a hot and humid day. The next day I rented a bike from the hotel and went joyriding in the country. Not following a map, I uncovered some fun things along the way. It rained the night before, so the road was muddy. I stopped every chance I got to take pictures of everyday life. The countryside was so peaceful. In addition to seeing baby chickens and walking around Buffalo Cave, I saw a man walking his buffalo. I even found a place to enjoy a beer and the local dogs and cats. What a fun day! After breakfast this morning I rented a scooter and rode to the other end of town to the bear sanctuary. It was about a 1-hour ride. I started off walking the Skywalk Bridge, where they have information about the sanctuary and a nice view of the grounds from above. After lunch I went on a short guided tour of the food prep area, some of the animal enclosures, and watched a short film on animal conservation work that is performed at the sanctuary. On the way back I stopped at Pet Coffee for an afternoon drink. Later I walked down the road to the Liberty Hall Villa. I showed the man a video of this place from the internet and he graciously let me go to the rooftop to take pictures of the sunset. Today is my last full day in the Ninh Binh and Tam Kok areas. I decided to take a joyride on the scooter today and visit some temples and enjoy the countryside where you are outside the main tourist areas. Tam Kok is a popular tourist destination for its iconic karst mountains, serene countryside, hiking and biking opportunities, and a short distance from Hanoi. Here are some pictures from today, followed by some video footage of locals enjoying their everyday life.
Giờ như kiểu kích này nó đang yếu chứ nào.
I say goodbye to my gracious host. They shared some sunflower seeds while I was waiting for the bus and gave me fruit for the ride back to Hanoi. To my surprise, when I returned to the Eliana Hotel, the staff had upgraded my room, which was so appreciated. To this day I continue to keep in touch with them.